tiptoe
you can,
to the toilet
and it's
in the dark.
It's sensory, so it it doesn't stay on all night. But it's isn't that cool?
That is cool.
Yeah, because I don't like.
So when you walk into the bathroom,
It
it'll
turns
light up.
You don't have to turn the light on.
Oh,
Yeah.
incredible! I gotta get me one of those.
No, I know. Yeah, it makes a great Christmas present, and they're so affordable.
Yeah.
And of course, then you've got the H Hemp Company. Use the code OLR for 20% off your first order. Made only with premium hemp cannabinoid genetics, tested by third parties to ensure no pesticides, solvents, or other contaminants. Non-GMO and contains all natural ingredients. To create their MCT tinctures, they start with sustainably farmed hemp grown in the United States without pesticides. So give it a try. Use the code OLR. Paleo Magazine, visit them at Paleomag online to download the digital version or find a store near you and pick up a copy. There's also a special edition copy out right now, all about the ketogenic diet, everything you want to know with a lot of the experts that have been on the show many times. So check it out. And of course, the Well-Being Journal, heralding the integration of medicine with physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, and social aspects of health. The Well-Being Journal is now available in both print and digital version. Order online at wellbeingjournal.com. Okay, I feel successful, Kip. So
Good.
Why is that?
I think because when you look in the mirror, you value the person staring back at you. And that is a key component of success.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I don't. I've always been a little perplexed by the idea of you first have to love yourself before you can truly love others. Because
I don't buy into that. I think that's BS.
Do you? Okay,
Yeah.
so let's talk about that because I think so many people, I think they get tripped up by that.
They do, because what it creates is a focus on self.
Yeah.
Which is selfish.
Right.
And you can love other people without really liking yourself or loving yourself. And in fact, what ends up happening is you actually feel better about yourself when you start giving, loving, extending yourself to somebody else.
Yeah, I've never understood the concept, and I don't know if it's because I was raised by parents who were very humble that always put, everybody else first, kind of.
Well,
or, I like myself. I'm like, okay, hey.
It started in the 70s with the kind of free to be you and me movement, where it turned the psychological theories turned everything inward about liking and loving yourself when human beings already automatically do that.
Yeah.
Instead of, and so we've raised generations of people that are all about self, instead of back to the greatest generation of giving, sacrificing, loving others, unconditional love, all that kind of
I couldn't agree more.
view.
Well, so, we were talking about financial success a few minutes ago. Is there a better way to measure financial success than by comparing yourself to others? And so what do we focus on in order to do that? And how do we deal with the feelings such as anger and jealousy?
Well, money is one of the biggest causes of struggle in a relationship, especially if you got different views about it and the value of it and the importance of it and how you prepare for the future. I think there's definitely, you have to have some objectivity in preparing for your future and what that looks like. And you can't ignore that. And that's important. Now, people are going to put a different priority on it, kind of like Lexi said. Like, I don't get motivated by making a buck. I get motivated out of helping somebody.
Well, money is an indicator that you're going in the right direction, and that what you're doing, people like. I mean, there's nothing sweeter than ringing the register. I'll tell you.
Yes.
And not because of the money, but because you know what you're doing, people like it, and you feel validated that you're headed down the right path, or that your food is good, or your book is good based on how many you sell. Things like that.
Sure, and I think it's one part of someone's life that you have to look at, although some people place a real value on that as determining, that person's successful and that person's not,
right?
Because that person is making more money, or that person is taking care of themselves financially, or that person can give more. Well, yes, financially, if you have money, it creates opportunity, and that's important.
Yeah. And so what are you, when you were talking about, if you're in disagreement about finances,
yes,
how that could cause a lot of problems in any relationship. So how do we reconcile the different definitions of success sometimes within the same family, like mother's expectations of a daughter or wife or a husband?
Yeah, so this happened in my own family where I was sitting at the Thanksgiving table a few years ago, with all my cousins and everything. And my mom, I don't even know how the discussion kind of got on this topic, but she was like, well, you know, she pointed to my two cousins who are in the military. He's like, the two of you are more successful than any of the others. And my brother and I just kind of eyeballed each other and we were like, you know, and I was like, don't say anything.
Yeah.
Right. But what it revealed was my mom, her definition of success is definitely prestige and it was definitely financial. And I'm not as successful financially as my two cousins. And that led to a discussion we had afterwards, one-on-one, about her definition of success. Yeah. And so we were able to sit down and kind of talk face to face. And I was able to actually express to her that when she said that, I felt hurt. I felt really disrespected that she would say that in front of the entire family.
Right.
But she also understood that I have a different value system than she does. And so it did create a different definition of success. So if you can sit down and constructively talk about those differences, negotiate some of those differences, certainly if you're in a partnership or a marriage, those are things you're going to have to do to make sure you're on the same page and not creating what Ian's about to talk about, which is fighting all the time.
Yeah, fighting all the time. And most people fight about money. So,
yes,
you know, Ian, I'm going to ask you, you know, why do most people fight about money?
Oh my gosh, that's such a loaded question. I think honestly, when a couple is fighting about money, there's probably something deeper. There's something deeper going on with both spouses, and I think money is just the surface level symptom. Of what's actually going on.
Wow,
it's what the motive is. Like, what's the motive behind the money?
Yeah.
And a lot of people are motivated by security. Somebody who places a lot of importance on money and having a retirement is really motivated by security and safety. Where if the other person's not motivated by that, they could care less and they may be more free about spending.
Well, yeah, and it can be so problematic. I really don't know how you change that in a relationship, and which is why that's the number one reason that people divorce, isn't it?
Money?
That's one of them.
That's one of them. Yeah.
It's not the only one, but that's where you've got to be able to constructively communicate
well,
with
of course,
each other.
It's not the only one. Yeah. What I meant to say was I think it's
one of them.
It's one of the top ones
five.
for sure.
Yes.
Yeah. What are the top five? Money? What else?
Oh, gosh. There's infidelity.
Of course.
Oh, God. I'm drawing a blank right now.
That's okay.
In-laws and family members, parenting styles, and just kind of how you divide up responsibility and taking care of your household.
I was reading something about, once you have a level of contempt for your partner, it's pretty much over. Would you agree with that?
Ooh,
yes.
Because
if you've gotten to that point, you've ignored a lot of problems along the way.
Yeah. Yeah. Or the other person didn't communicate with you, because a lot of times people don't communicate well.
Well, and that's what I mean. Like, one of you has ignored dealing with the issues you've got to talk about and negotiate.
Well, this is good stuff. It really is. We're gonna dig a little deeper into it. So, how to make your relationship work when you're fighting all the time. If you're out there fighting all the time, you might want to listen in. Stay tuned, everyone. You're listening to One Life Radio.
Tonight we ride, right or wrong. Tonight we sail.
Hey, this is Sean Wells of the International Society of Sports Nutrition. One Life Radio is proud to partner with the ISSN. The ISSN is the world's leading scientific organization dedicated to the science of supplements and sports nutrition. For their latest conferences and events, go to theissn.org. That's the ISSN.org.
Hi, everyone. This is Bernadette. Do you know why I love Paleo Magazine? Paleo Magazine was founded with the purpose of providing readers with the information they need to live strong, vibrant, healthy lives. They are dedicated to partnering with leaders in the paleo community to spread the knowledge of ancestral health principles without the influence of big pharma or big agriculture. Paleo Magazine. Follow them on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, and Instagram, or visit them at paleomagonline.com. That's paleomagonline.com.
Here's the dill pickle. Squatty Potty works. It's awesome. Find yours at your local Bed Bath & Beyond, Amazon, or squattypotty.com. That's squattypotty.com.
Sun Warrior believes that plants provide the cleanest and most powerful foods, rich in antioxidants, vitamins, minerals, enzymes, and phytonutrients. Our bodies crave real foods, especially in this age where we heavily process everything we eat, stripping out all of the benefits and nutrition well before we have a chance to even use them. Illuminate your body, mind, and the planet with Sun Warrior. To learn more, visit them at sunwarrior.com. That's sunwarrior.com.
Did you know there are over 3,000 kinds of snakes? And most, being shy, pose no threat to humans, but they are still feared and killed even for frivolous fashion. In his poem Snake, D.H. Lawrence marvels at a snake drinking from a water trough. He succumbs to irrational fear and impulsively throws a log at the very animal he admired moments before. He writes, "And immediately I regretted it. I thought how paltry, how vulgar, what a mean act. I despised myself and the voices of my accursed human education, and I wished he would come back, my snake, for he seemed to me again like a king in exile, uncrowned in the underworld." This is Ingrid Newkirk with Peter, reminding us it's easy to be kind by choosing fake snake over real skin for belts, bags, and shoes.
Welcome back to One Life Radio. This is Bernadette with Diamond Gray. I've got Kip Watson in studio with me and Ian Hammonds. Kip Watson is a licensed professional counselor and supervisor and sports psychology professional with 2 master's degrees and nearly 20 years of experience with athletes, coaches, families, and corporate teams. She is a certified high-performance coach. And Ian Hammonds is a licensed marriage and family therapist associate who received his graduate degree from Southern Methodist University. He completed a 10-month internship at UT Southwestern Psychiatry, where he was extensively trained in couples and family therapy. Ian currently practices systems based on therapy and Vantage Point counseling here in Dallas. Ian works with the LGBT population and does primarily couples counseling with both gay and straight couples, utilizes different techniques in therapy, but mainly operates under emotionally focused couples therapy. So great to have you here at One Life Radio.
I feel so important right now.
Well, you are important, and you spent a lot of time, both of you two, in school learning about the ins and outs of emotion and brain activity and all of it that's connected. So people do fight, and some people fight more than others. But in a relationship, when you're fighting all the time, what does that mean?
Well, you first have to ask yourself, is physical abuse happening? And physical abuse can exist. It can be hitting each other, slapping each other. It can even be throwing things at each other, punching walls. That's physical abuse. If that's going on, it's probably best to leave because, it's just not healthy.
Well, a friend of mine and I were having a conversation about, very specifically about in the gay community, how there is a lot of abuse that goes really unreported because to males that it's right. Let's talk about that for a second.
Yeah, it's a pretty emotionally charged subject. A lot of that really stems from some of the trauma that gay men kind of grow up with,
right?
Kind of in a heteronormative, heterosexual world. And if they come from parents that are literally telling them you're not allowed to be gay, that can stick with you and that can impact your relationships for sure.
Oh,
really
yeah.
Can.
Okay, so fighting all the time. So as long as it's not physical, maybe there's a chance that you could correct it?
Yes.
Okay. So is what about emotional or verbal abuse? Because I have to tell you that I feel that verbal abuse is worse almost than physical abuse, because if you've got the type of personality where you don't want to harm someone, so you don't want to harm them with your words, but physically you would be forced to protect yourself or run if someone is physically attacking you. Does that make sense, what I'm trying to convey?
Yeah, it does.
It does.
Kinda.
Okay. So, if somebody's punching you, you put your arm up or you punch them back. It's instinctive.
You can't do that with verbal.
Instinctively, you put your arms up and you fight back. But if someone's verbally attacking you and you don't have that in your heart and your soul, and you can't hurt another person by saying awful things to them, I think it's more destructive if you can't defend yourself, or because and words are very powerful, as we all
It
know.
becomes one of those 4 agreements you talked about,
Yes.
right? Don't take
Yes.
anything personally.
Well, and be impeccable with your words, right?
It's easier said than done, though.
It is
but-
easier said than done.
Yeah, no, emotional abuse is another kind of emotional and verbal abuse are kind of